Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Speak On It podcast. I am your host, Big Mike. I am here after a wild week in sports,
Wild day.
wild day, culture, just a lot. It's been a crazy 72 hours since you've seen us. But we're gonna recap it, and we're here for you, running a two-man show, as you can see. Just gonna get into it. Can't do it alone. I've got the Mad Producer Podcast Poppy in the building.
It's been absolute insanity all day today, and I can't wait to cover these games.
Let me just let you guys know it's gonna be fun. If today's group chat was anything like what this episode is gonna be about, it's gonna be fun. I may or may not start a fight with Dylan over his Dak Prescott take that happened in the group chat.
Ooh, let's do it.
We have to start with the Eagles. We gotta fly, Eagles, fly, Eagles, fly. So let's set it up first, because I was going to say, so at my job where I work, there is only 6 men that work in the office. 4 of us watch sports, particularly football. I'm going to set it up for you, Dylan. Okay. I am a Titans fan. The other new hire that came in with me is a Dolphins fan. And then the 2 veterans that are in the office, Cowboys and Eagles fans.
Ooh.
Let me tell you the joy of walking, because Monday was Martin Luther King Day. So we all conversed for the first time on Tuesday and walked into the building, and instantly I saw all 3 of them and was like, literally my exact words were, long weekend, huh, fellas? Long weekend, huh? Oh, the disgust that was on. And it's so funny because we will recap it. Just different levels of anger from each one just makes it even funnier. But we'll start with the most recent game. Eagles, Tampa Bay. I have to go down with this shit because even though I knew there was a chance that this was going to happen, I said that this might happen, but I stubbornly said, no, I'm going to ride it until the wheels fall off. And the wheels fell off right around the third quarter-ish. Wheels fell off. And the Eagles just went out. It's hard to say sad with the other stuff that happened this weekend, but the Eagles went out without a whimper. I will say that there was no fight. It was just meh. Like, it was just meh.
Mike, let me tell you something that I love. If I love anything in this world, I'm a family man. I'm a massive Jets fan. But I also love being right. I said on the pod, I'm taking the Bucks +3, but I'll take the Eagles. And then I said on Sunday before we left, I said, you know what? I'm changing my pick to the Bucks. I'm not doing this. I'm changing my pick to the Bucks. And I was like, because I think Sirianni's going to get fired. And if the Eagles face any type of adversity and you look on that sideline and all that body language is negative, they're done. And surely enough, Mike, that body language was dog shit all up and down the sidelines. It was, at one point, it was 9-17 or 9-16. It's a 7-point game. At no point in this game did I think the Eagles were going to be able to show up. And like that felt like that was insurmountable.
It did.
A 1-score game.
It felt
like it was insurmountable.
Way worse than it was. because Tampa was dropping everything. Tampa
It
was
gradually
saying,
became out of reach.
Tampa was like, here, Philly, win this from us. Nope.
And Philly said, no, we don't want to. We hate it here. We want to go home. And you had Dallas Goddard yelling at Jalen Hurts on the sidelines. You had Jalen Hurts just staring into the abyss.
Goddard yelling at Jalen made my antennas go up because I was like, oh, that's not a diva wide receiver. Like I don't know him, and I'm definitely just typecasting him, but that's a company man yelling at him.
Yes.
I
feel the same way because all that did was validate my opinion on Jalen Hurts a little bit more because A.J. Brown been throwing a fit for weeks. And then you got the one of the guys on offense who you would think would just have his back. And you see him visibly like, what the fuck are you doing? That said a lot. That spoke volumes. This Eagles team this year really confirmed my thoughts on Jalen Hurts. Because I really don't I'm back to where I was before last year. Where I think he's better than what I thought he was the year prior of before last season where he put up those MVP numbers. But I also don't think he was actually as good as those numbers in the performance he played last year were. And with the poor offensive line play and the dog shit defense, Jalen Hurts turned out to be exactly what I thought he was. So now I'm wondering, now that Jalen Hurts has this big contract, this Hall of Fame center, Jason Kelce, shout out to Jason Kelce, and Austin Creer has said he's going to retire. Allegedly, but he done.
Yeah, he's probably just waiting to do it on this podcast.
Or give himself a chance to take everything in and then do it himself. He doesn't want it to leak the way Tom Brady's leaked. Let him do it himself. I think he deserves that. Between Jason Kelce crying on the sidelines, because this was probably his last game.
More than likely
his last game. You lose one of the greatest centers to ever play the game of football. Your Hall of Fame right tackle is almost a shell of himself.
Can't stay on the field more than
25 plays. Your guards are poop. Your guards are absolute bad.
They're bad.
Jordan Mailata's good. Your defense is horrendous.
The back end, their secondary is bad.
They don't generate pass rush.
The generate pass rush is weird because their line is still very good.
They have a lot of talent, but remember, half that line is old as fuck.
Still very good though. I would take.
And and what's his face from Georgia is still a fucking dog, but you can't get him help. You're not using Hassan Reddick.
That's the criminal. That's borderline. That's no, because
that's your best pass rusher, and you're just not using him. That's Matt Patricia.
That's the defensive version of what they were doing to Bijan in Atlanta. But
yeah, just not
even still, it's still not as bad as. That was criminal what they were doing at Atlanta.
Your boy Byard looks way lost and washed.
He looks like he's confused all the time. Like he just doesn't know where to be.
Which is safety. That level should never be that way.
Like their defense can't be like it's like, is it that complicated? It makes me think that they're really that disorganized because he looks like he's freestyling 90% of the time, which tells me that either because he is an all-pro safety,
yes.
So it's either he really doesn't know what he's doing or they don't know what they're doing and he's trying to cover and fix. Like, it makes me wonder how bad they would be if he wasn't there.
Which is crazy because they're horrendous with him.
Yes, I'm not even gonna.
They're horrendous
Yes,
with him. Bradbury is just
he's
not even
not.
playable.
He's
He's not even playable.
he gives me basketball equivalent of Jordan Poole. Once it goes, it's gone. It's gone. If he's on and he's engaged, brother could actually be a lockdown corner because
He's done it. He's done it in his career.
Jordan Poole because it's so frustrating because you've seen it. You know he's capable of being what they think him and Slay should be lockdown corners. And Slay is
But they're
hurt.
both older now.
That's it. Slay is hurt and he's old. I didn't even think he was gonna play, but he played because he's tough. He's a veteran. I'm gonna get out there because I can't leave Bradbury out there alone. But you could tell Slay was compromised, and he's getting older. He's getting older, and but they should be so much. So that
Bradbury just wasn't trying.
well,
Bradbury just gave up.
that's what I said. He's another one. You could just see it. Just gave up. He doesn't have that dog in him. That's what I found out. Philly, that defense, all that talk, that defense does not have that.
This Philly
The
team,
offense looks like they want it more. And they're fighting and frustrating because their offensive coordinator doesn't put them in position to win.
this team was just in the Super Bowl.
They're better than Tampa Bay.
They lost seven players on that defense, right?
They did lose a lot of players.
They lost, but there's no resemblance of a team that was going to win the Super Bowl. There's no resemblance of that of this team. Not on offense, not on defense. That's gone. That's absolutely gone. It's not the same team at all. Sirianni looks like a fool. Looks like a complete fool. All those players, Jalen Hurts looks like a fool because of all the quotes and stuff that he does. And I get he's a very laid back, nonchalant guy. It sometimes comes off as arrogance to me. And I don't want to label him that because he's probably far from that. And he's probably a very good guy. But I just felt like this team really just had zero idea what they were. They had no action. They are no identity. They had no grasp of self-awareness at all.
Because they never changed. They just kept coming out every week and kept doing the same thing. And people Steven don't have tape on them.
Steven and I all season long, since we started doing our Sunday recaps, have they're going to throw a screen pass, they're going to throw it deep, and they're going to tush push. That's their offense. That is their offense. And it never changed from week 1 to wild card weekend.
And the frustrating part about it is Swift can play. Swift still almost had Dylan, all of this that we just said, he still almost had 1,000-yard season. Rushing. Not even all purpose. He almost had 1,000 yards rushing. Give him the ball. You had the entire link screaming to run the ball because y'all wouldn't run the ball. I hope Sirianni he's the head coach, so he's the CEO. He made 2 horrific coaching hires this year. His offense and defensive coordinators were terrible. So he has to be held responsible for that. I don't think he's forgotten how to coach. I think the team has the identity that he wants. It was just poor. He put the wrong people in management. This is what happens when the wrong people are managers, because it can fall apart quick, because everyone, you can just see it. There's no fight. They never adjusted. They just never adjusted.
They just thought they were going to win every week. They thought they were just going to win every week. They're we're going to out-talent everybody. That's what it was. We're going to out-talent everybody.
And our offensive line is going to win every week.
and it didn't. And the Bucks are the only team I've seen actually stop the tush push twice. They did it earlier in the year, and they did it here again. Granted, homeboy did grab the face mask.
And
In
pull it.
real time, I thought he grabbed his shoulder. In real time, that was a very hard play to say otherwise, because all I saw was homeboy pull Jalen Hurts sideways. I was like, oh my God, he stopped it.
And then you saw the replay.
Jesus Christ, they got him.
And then on the replay, you're like, oh my God, he almost ripped his head off. Oh my God. But the refs didn't call it, so it goes down as they stopped it.
And I can understand. I can understand why the refs didn't call it, though, because I thought it was clean. I thought it was clean off the rip. So good on them. I shout out to the Bucks. The Bucks deserve a lot of credit here because Todd Bowles was just like, I'm gonna blitz the Eagles every fucking shot I can. And if Jalen Hurts is gonna beat us, Jalen Hurts is gonna beat us. But he ain't gonna run and get it. He's gonna have to beat us as a quarterback and fuck us up. And he just could not.
Very good.
He just could not. He's like, I saw how the Jets did it. I saw how the Niners did it. I saw how the Cowboys did it. We're going to do a little bit different because those teams got pressure without the blitz. We're going to send everybody. Todd Bowles loves to blitz. Loves to blitz. And he said, fuck around and find out, Jalen. And Jalen was just fucking lost. So this goes back to the conversations we would have before the season started when you were arguing with me that Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback. That I was like, I just think this Eagles team, last year's Eagles team, was super fucking talented everywhere. They had the best of everything. And now when the best of everything goes down and you have to depend on the quarterback a little more, he gave me nothing.
It's very tough to defend Jalen Hurts. But my thoughts of him have not really changed too much. It's just that he didn't elevate his game this year. So I don't have him in the top 5 anymore. I'd have to think about top 10. He might be top 10 or right on the fringe, right on the outside of top 10.
Because he is better than a lot of the league.
Yes, I still think he's a very good, above average court. Like, I would take Jalen Hurts on my team tomorrow. So I haven't lost my confidence in him.
The difference is I would not.
You're crazy. Well,
you would take Jalen Hurts over Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, well, you have Aaron Rodgers. So
I was about to say, I have Aaron Rodgers. Let's not forget, I know he didn't play football this year.
You have an outlier. I was
going to say, I know we're playing, he didn't play football this year, but a lot of people seem to forget that Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of my football team. My nephew found out the hard way today. I went over there for my mom had an appointment, and I go up there and see Julius, and I'm like, hey, what's up, dude? And he's like, hey, play me Madden 1v1. I'm like, all right. He lost 70-7. I let him score.
Let you guys at home know that Dylan loves beating up on children. That's what you guys know.
It's a hobby.
He enjoys it.
It's a hobby. And my sister's just in the room laughing the whole time, yelling at him because I was telling him what to do as we were playing. Like, he was picking his plays and he was doing, like, showing the play art, just trying to see what he had to do. I was like, oh, you should be throwing to this person. And he was like, okay. I was like, don't throw to this person because I'm going to intercept it. And I was like, you should throw to like Hawkinson on this play. And he said, okay. And he threw to Justin Jefferson and threw 7 interceptions. And I was like, listen, man, I'm telling you how to beat the defense I'm playing, and you're not listening. My sister's like, Julius, he's helping you and you're ignoring him, and you're losing 70-7.
I feel like you were being a jerk while you were doing this, though.
Eventually I was, because I knew he was being an asshole. He was being an asshole about it. He was like, bro, I don't need your help. I'm like, okay. And then I got really like sarcastic about it. And I was like, you should fucking listen to me. I was like, the only reason you have a touchdown is because I let you get one. So
we would be remiss. We can't just talk about the Eagles. How about Baker Mayfield? Suck it,
Baker
Colin
was
Suck
awesome.
it, Colin Coward.
Shout out
Baker
to all
was balling.
Shout out to the Buccaneers, because Todd Bowles severely outcoached Nick Sirianni. Severely outcoached him. Baker was balling.
Baker
What's
was
his name?
out
The
here.
tight end. The tight end for
Yeah, tight end
freaking
was killed. That
Tampa
was great coaching.
balling. Kate
He
Otten.
was catching everything.
He made a couple great plays in like really tight windows, and kudos to Baker for getting the ball into those spots where only he can make a play on them. He was abusing those linebackers. He was abusing the safeties. He did whatever the fuck he wanted to.
If I would have told you Mike Evans would have 3 catches for 48 yards, you would have told me, yeah, Eagles win. Eagles win. But no.
Trey Palmer beat the dog shit out of James Bradbury on a fucking post route.
The backbreaker. That was it. That was the season. When he got that one, that was the season right there.
Fun fact. Every time Trey Palmer has tweeted out, "I'm pissed off," he has scored a touchdown in every single one of those games. And you know what he tweeted out before this game? I'm pissed off. That stat was brought to me after he scored that touchdown, and every sports account on Twitter was saying it. Now they had the receipts. I'm just like, oh.
I hope he's pissed off next week because they're going to need it.
They need it, but I like the Bucs' chances next week.
Yeah, you said this in the chat.
I like the Bucs' chances because they have a defense. And if this offense goes against that Lions defense.
So what happened? Like we're projecting. So if Baker takes this Tampa team to the NFC Championship, does he get the bag? Like
he's already getting the bag.
No, Dylan. I mean the bag.
No.
Like
top 5 quarterback money?
Yeah, like that bag. If he takes them to the NFC Championship.
This is the classic case of overreacting to 1 year. Because we have a whole career of Baker. We have a whole career of Baker at this point.
We have a whole 5 years.
That's enough to make a decision, man.
5 years, 2 playoff appearances. He's got more playoff wins than Dak Prescott.
Who would you rather have?
Dak Prescott. But you give me angry Baker. Listen, angry Baker.
Is, what happened?
I might be around for angry Baker.
Let me tell you what I've kind of come to terms with. Baker Mayfield might be Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He might be.
And he may be competing for his fucking contract, and the second he gets it, he goes from Fitzmagic to Fitztragic.
Because we've seen that happen a few times.
I've seen it personally. It wasn't great.
When it's Fitzmagic, it is unbelievable.
Because I said flat out after that year where we had a winning record and didn't make the playoffs, I said, do not offer him shit. Don't offer Ryan Fitzpatrick anything that he wants. Give him another 1-year deal and make him earn it. Because I've seen it too many times before. And then he left us and he went to Tampa and he did the same thing. He did the same thing. And then he went to Miami and he did the same thing. This could be one of those situations where Baker gets paid and then he's bad. Because how are you going to pay Baker and not pay Mike Evans?
Because the quarterback is the most important position. And
Mike
Baker's
Evans,
younger.
Nobody in NFL history has, besides Jerry Rice, has done what Mike Evans has done.
I'm not telling you
regardless Baker's better of quarterback.
I'm not telling you Baker is better than him. I'm telling you how these GMs, just like you tell me how I don't like how the MVP gets voted, I'm telling you how this will play out. They will pay Baker before they pay Mike Evans.
And that would be the biggest mistake they could do.
Especially if he beats the Lions. If he beats the Lions, like right now, today, season ends today, Baker gets a medium bag. He's getting a medium bag.
I think Baker
he's getting at least a 3-year contract. Right now, he's getting
I think he gets a 4-year.
You think he get a 4 right now?
I think he gets a 4-year right now.
I think he has to win this game to get a
4 years, $30 million.
I think
that's Daniel Jones money.
Okay, so yeah, again, seeing the Giants reset the market because that would be the money that I would think he would
get.
But
still, that's not even top 10 quarterback money.
But if he wins this game and gets to the NFC Championship, he's looking at 4 years, 200 maybe.
Jason Light, I don't think.
How much is Jalen Hurts getting?
He is not getting nowhere near Jalen Hurts money.
What if he goes? What if he goes to the Super Bowl?
You can't do that.
What if he goes to the Super Bowl?
Jalen Hurts is 255.
All right, he's not getting 255. He'll get 255 if they go to the Super Bowl, though.
You can't give him that.
Dylan,
that's the problem.
He took them to the,
you can't give him top 5 quarterback money.
You can if he goes to the Super Bowl. You can if he goes to the Super Bowl.
I watched the Eagles win a Super Bowl with Nick Foles and then throw him away. I watched the Ravens with the Super Bowl with Trent Dilfer and said, "Eat a dick, Trent. We're not dealing with you."
Baker's already better than Trent Dilfer. Right now, today, he's better than Trent Dilfer. Ever was in his life. Today.
I think okay, so 30 million ain't right. 30 million is not a lot. I'm going to reset that because
Dak
30 million
make almost 60 next year.
I don't want to say 30 million puts him at Ryan Tannehill money right now.
He's getting more than that. He's getting more than that right now.
He'll get 40. He'll get 40 mil. He'll get exactly what Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones' contract was 40 million. Yeah, he'll get exactly.
If he gets them to the NFC Championship game, he's got to be between 40 and 50 million. He's got to be, Dylan. He's got to be between 40 and 50. If he wins this game, that's how much this game means for him. Because you're looking at the list. Tell me his agent. You telling me he doesn't get top 10 money? NFC Championship with this team? Yo, Baker about to get the bag.
The problem here is going to be
about to get a bag.
He presents the argument to the team. The problem is going to be the agent's going to present this, and the only way you can give Baker that money is if you sign Mike Evans. You have to have Mike Evans on the team for the rest of Baker's Buccaneer career.
No, I mean you still have Chris.
4 years.
Chris Godwin got hurt this year. He had a lot of injuries. Chris Godwin is still very good.
But you can't break up that receiving core.
You just got to go get another one.
You keep Mike Evans.
You can't miss. You got to go get another one.
Or you just keep Mike Evans.
Because what if Trey Palmer gets better?
He's your third.
And you have the tight end. Like Dylan, it's crazy to say they don't need Mike Evans. They clearly need Mike Evans. But for the future moving forward, you can give Baker the bag and still have weapons here, Dylan. This is the thing. If your prediction, you didn't predict
Mike Evans. You need to pay Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is going to join the list. He's going to come to Tennessee. He will be my wide receiver.
Yeah, right. Yeah, fucking right. I'll bet 10 wheel spins.
He has too much in the bag for that. Too much left in the tank for
10 wheel spins.
No, because I'm not betting 10 wheel spins on that. I'm not giving you 10 wheels. No, because I don't even know what my GM, what his vision for the roster is. So, no, absolutely not.
Mike Evans is still too young to go to Tennessee.
Might be. He might be.
He might be. He has to be like 35 before he heads over there. I would bet 10 wheel spins Mike Evans is not a Tennessee Titan.
I would bet it, but I'm not betting. I'm not putting up 10 spins on that. So
yeah, put 10 wheel spins up.
Absolutely not.
Then you don't believe it.
Absolutely not.
Mike Evans is either going to be a Buck for the rest of his career or he's going to be a Kansas City Chief.
That could be the team.
As much as I'd love to see him as a Jet, I don't believe that's a thing. I don't even believe that's a possibility.
Let's move on to the other fun thing that happened this weekend. Not fun for you, but for the rest of America, who we all enjoy. We all come together. Now that Tom Brady is gone, we all come together and wait for the Cowboys to lose in the playoffs. And
it's sad,
oh boy.
It's very sad.
We all fell for it. We all fell for it. Shout out to DJ because he did not fall for it.
DJ also says things from a place of hate.
But he was right.
His hate was right this time, but he says these things out of a place of hate. He never once on Saturday when we were talking about it did he give an actual football reason. He just said
he mentioned Aaron Jones, but he didn't go into depth.
I think Steven mentioned Aaron Jones. I don't think DJ did. But DJ was just like, because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. It's just like, okay. Just like he was like, the Jets are the Jets. Okay. Like, you hate those two teams. This was just pitiful. It's a shame that the Cowboys are bringing McCarthy back for a fifth year.
What breaking news that was earlier today, because as much as I was sitting here saying, don't fire Sirianni, at the end of this game, I was like, yeah, Mike McCarthy probably got to go.
He got to go.
He probably got to go.
He gets a fifth year?
That was embarrassingly bad. That was bad.
How do you bring him back after this? How do you bring him back after this game? This game, the score is not even close to what this game actually was.
Because it's only close because they got garbage time points in the fourth quarter. Like, it was 48-16 at one point. Like, that is bad. That is shockingly bad. And what was shockingly bad to me was how bad their defense was. Their defense with Micah Parsons doing all this talk. I still remember Micah Parsons saying this team could be as good as the 2000 Ravens. I still hear him saying that at the beginning of this year after they obliterated the Giants. Ray Lewis was rolling in his grave watching.
Micah Parsons, I said this in the chat earlier, Micah Parsons quit. And Micah Parsons does this from time to time where if he can't absolutely just destroy you, he just becomes disinterested.
He gets frustrated and he quits.
Yeah. There was no fight out of him. The one player on that defense, besides like Stephon Gilmore, who I would expect to be like, hey, let's get our shit together, just didn't. He had no part in nothing. And as much as Anthony wants to blame Dak Prescott for everything in this fucking game, he was not good. But you also can't ignore how bad this defense was. Like, Dan Quinn was already watching, like, Seahawks film.
It looks like it, because that defense they were getting picked apart. The footage, this touchdown of the tight end, I believe, catching that ball with no one in the picture.
3 different times. They had one of those plays in the first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter where the right sideline was wide fucking open. Nobody there. Nobody over there. And it was like, I just don't understand how you guys got beat by the same thing. And all Jordan Love did was just like hop off his back foot and just throw it up.
All he had to do was just get a couple seconds and then phew.
Literally, it's just hit 3 steps, throw it up. Because they're wide open, nobody's doing anything. Like, I don't get it. Like, they really found another way to lose a playoff game. And there's nobody to blame. Like, you have to blame the coaches for this.
Yeah, I blame the coaches for this loss. They got outcoached. That's what I said. Like, it's hard to say that the Eagles went out sad because the Eagles did come to play. They got out. They came to play. There was fight there. They got out schemed. This was a massacre. Like, Dallas wasn't ready to play. Like,
I'll give you that. Dallas wasn't ready to play. The Eagles just quit.
Yeah, like, it was just 2 different things. But like, Dallas they didn't even show up. Like, they just thought they thought they
were gonna win. They didn't practice this week. That's how it looked like. They just didn't do anything. Didn't watch film, didn't do anything. They're just like, we're just gonna here we go, our way to a win. Shout out to Jordan Love for hitting a here we go before taking a knee.
I did not see that. That is hilarious.
Here we go. Set.
That's hilarious. Michael Parsons wearing a Bobby Boucher jersey to the game. Like the too much dip on the chip. Like we said that this weekend. Too much dip on the chip.
You can't put on the Bobby Boucher.
He had on a Bobby. Look it
You
up.
remember that? You remember that time Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime and won the Mud Bowl?
That's what this would have been had they come back and won this game.
Because that would have been. Do you remember that one time Michael Parsons showed up after halftime and the Dallas Cowboys won the fucking wild card round?
After being down 27-7.
Shit. And the thing is, in the third quarter, there was a shot for a little while, and then the Packers just kept like scoring. Like
kept scoring.
The Cowboys got points up, and then the Packers just were like, hold this touchdown real quick. Y'all not coming back.
We're not even gonna give you a chance to think you could come back in.
I sent the best gif of all time when explaining how the Cowboys were tackling Aaron Jones. It was just the bullfighter, just hooray!
Like
actual game film that was.
Now, unlike you, well, so how do you feel about Green Bay and San Francisco?
Because I like Green Bay's chances. I think Green Bay could compete.
See, but the way you feel about Tampa Bay is the way I feel about Green Bay going into that game. I think Green Bay has a very good chance of winning this game.
If they can play the same way they played against San Francisco and they can attack the weakness of San Fran, they can win this game. I don't know what version of this Green Bay Packer defense is going to show up. That's the problem. But their offense is capable of scoring.
Because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. San Francisco secondary is not as good as people think it is.
It's not. It's not. That's the weakness of the team.
It's their front seven, which is just murder's row. But that secondary, if you can protect, let me tell you, it's barbecue chicken out there. I'm letting you know. It's barbecue chicken out there in that secondary if you can protect.
Yep.
And let me tell you, Green Bay's got some horses out there. So I guess I would have to do it before this show's over. The problem is Christian McCaffrey is so good. He's so good.
That's what I'm saying. What version of that defense is showing up?
He's so good. Because unlike Dallas, San Francisco's gonna run the ball. Because Dallas just does not run the ball ever. So, but like I said last week, because I always got to qualify my picks. If Brock Purdy throws that ball more than 33, Dylan, I'll give you a Will spin if you give me the over on 33. More than 33 pass attempts, Green Bay wins.
I agree with you, though.
I don't want to do 30. I don't want to do 30 because they
that's like I also don't believe in Brock Purdy.
You don't. You hate his
guts.
Yes, this is
true. I don't think he's very good.
You hate his guts.
This is where I argue with strangers at the barbershop about Brock Purdy.
That was
heated
fun.
Arguments.
That was fun. Me and Mario said we should have had a camera out for that. That was fun. Get him
for him to be like, the stats are completely different, and then I showed him the stats are the same. He's like, you're cherry picking stats. What about this stat? I'm like, but you're cherry picking stats.
Guys were definitely doing Spider-Man to each other, but
yeah, exactly.
Neither here or there.
And then he was like, but Zach Wilson stinks. I'm like, I'm not sure what that has to do with Brock Purdy. I agree. I feel the same way. I feel like every game this week, the underdog has a really good chance of winning. Like I said this weeks ago, I think if Texans have to face Baltimore, Baltimore might be in trouble. And now we have that matchup where if Houston's now playing Baltimore, Baltimore could be in trouble. Green Bay punched Dallas in the mouth. Again, they were playing with house money. I think they have a chance to win this game. I'm not going to pick them to win this game, obviously, but I think they can. Whatever the spread is, I'm probably looking plus money on Green Bay's side.
I think if San Francisco wins, they will win easy. The only way, to me, the only way Green Bay can win is if they win close. If Tampa Bay can get in front of them, they're not going to win.
And Detroit, I think Detroit's got a tall task.
That Detroit game was such a wild card because Detroit can score, but
They struggle
let's
against good defenses. They have
and
all year.
let's not act like the Rams didn't shut them down in the second half. Because as much fun as that was in the first half, they didn't do nothing in the second half until they had to get that until they had to get that field goal, and until they had to get that first down, which was a great throw by Jared Goff. Shout out
And
to
then
Jared Goff.
let me tell you a secret about the Bucs. The Bucs defense is better than the Rams defense.
It is.
And it will be off the rip better than that defense. So the weakness of this Tampa Bay defense is their pass rush, really, but they have the linebackers. They have
That's the
the
only
secondary.
thing that concerns me.
They
That's the only
have
thing
the
that concerns me
secondary.
because Jared Goff gets into a rhythm, and if they don't get any pressure, they have the weapons where he could pick them up.
He can, but I say that they don't have a pass rush. Shaq Barrett's older, but they got a guy up the middle who's a fucking problem.
They do.
Vita Vea.
They got to figure
Vita
that
Vea
out.
is a fucking bad motherfucker.
They got to figure him out.
So they'll be there. Good. I don't know what the run game in Detroit's going to look like in that game.
That's going to be very interesting
because you got two all-pro quality linebackers in Levante David and Devin White, who are ballers, and
Detroit loves to run.
All-pro snub and Antoine Winfield.
But let's not act like Singletary and Gibbs are not the truth, though.
No, they are. But all year, this Detroit team, when they've come up against good defenses, has looked a little silly. And they played Tampa early in the year when they were struggling. Tampa wants that back. This goes back to what I felt about the Philly game. I was like, Tampa feels like they could have had that if they met them at a different time in the year.
So you picking Tampa?
I told you on the chat I'm picking Tampa.
I respect it. I'm not picking Tampa. I
know you're not. But
because
now that Detroit's got that one win out of the way, it's okay for them to deflate a little bit.
I got to keep this ball rolling because if Green Bay wins NFC Championship game in Detroit, send Tom Brady. No one wins that game in Detroit. No. Send Tom Brady, Joe Montana, John Elway. If Detroit gets the NFC Championship in that building, I don't care who you send. Send Bobby Boucher. Detroit wins. Same way I felt about
Willie
that first playoff game.
Are we selling Willie Beeman?
Willie Beeman might be a problem. He might be a problem. He might be a problem. Get Al Pacino off the couch to get on that sideline. But Detroit with a home NFC Championship game, Detroit by a million.
It would be a great thing. It would be a great
by
thing.
A million. But I'm picking Detroit. I really want to pick Green Bay. I really, really want to pick Green Bay. Partly because I don't really like San Francisco because they also have too much dip on their chip for me. But they are very talented.
They're very good.
And I believe in this Packers team. I picked them to win the division. That's the team I thought I was going to see all year.
Listen, you're preaching to the choir here. I thought the Packers were going to be good this year too.
That's the team I thought I was going to get all year.
And Jordan Love is one of the few quarterbacks I've really watched in my lifetime who I actually saw like elevate themselves in the season. Like literally watched him get better week to week. It's insanity. It's insanity to watch where he started at the beginning of the year, owning the Bears, to have those line issues and the receivers being out and the drop problems, to see him struggle and then get to this point to where he looks like he's one of the best quarterbacks in football. So he's got a great little career arc right now and seeing adversity early and growing from it.
What do you have? You have the what's the number?
Let me see. Let me pull it up.
7. I'll take Green Bay. if he gives me 7.
Let's see what the books are given. 9.5. I'll
Told
take
you that
plus 9.5.
that's a lot. 9.5 is a lot.
I'll also take Houston plus 9.5.
Someone was favored by 9.5.
Baltimore's favored by 9.5. I'll take Tampa plus 6.5. And I'll take Kansas City plus 2.5. I'm taking all the dogs. All the dogs.
I mean, we could talk about the main event because
Who?
Buffalo.
Oh, you think Buffalo's going to win?
Buffalo might win this game.
I think Pat Mahomes wants his get back.
My fear is that the media is pulling on Superman's cape, because all I hear is Patrick Mahomes has never won a road playoff game. He's never won a road playoff
played
game.
one.
He never played one, as if he's just not going to be good. And like the only reason he's Patrick Mahomes is because he just plays at home. Like, don't piss him off, please. Please. This is Buffalo's time. Don't do this.
It's not Buffalo's time.
And them losing that linebacker really scares me. Because if it's one thing I know, Travis Kelce up the middle.
Let me tell you something. Keep Taylor Swift out of fucking Buffalo.
She'll be there.
Keep her out of there.
No, she'll be there.
Because if Taylor Swift isn't there, Travis Kelce's going to have 135 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm telling you flat out. I don't give a fuck who you are. Death, taxes, Josh Allen loses to Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah, look, it's got to be this triangle. In order for us to have the triangle with him, Burrow, and Mahomes, it has to be he beats Mahomes, Mahomes beats Burrow, Burrow beats Allen. Like, that's how this has to work, Dylan.
But here's the thing.
Josh
You're
Allen
the only one who wants the circle of life here. I don't. I don't. I don't want that. There's a reason Josh Allen is third on the list of those quarterbacks. It's because he can't beat either one of them. That's it. That's the long and short of it.
He's going to do it this weekend. I'm picking Buffalo.
Remember, they changed a rule for Josh Allen.
They did.
They changed the rule for Josh Allen just for nobody to use that rule.
Rightfully so.
Just for him to get packed up in the second round last year. They changed the rule for what? For him to still go home. And guess what? If they need overtime, he's still going home.
Buffalo is going to win. Everyone is going to spirit bomb in Buffalo, and they're going to win.
Last time that happened, they did that for the Super Bowl, and they lost. 4 of them. 4 in a row. It's not your time, Josh.
Buffalo wins.
Kansas City wins.
Buffalo gets it.
And I'll be on this podcast shouting Red Kingdom just like I did last year.
No. I was playing Red Kingdom
superb
last year.
For the superb bow, I was chanting Red Kingdom.
Phony, because you was all, it's Barrowhead Stadium. I remember.
Listen, I stand by that decision.
I was playing Red Kingdom last year.
I stand by that decision. Listen, Mike, I was in a win-win. I couldn't have lost. My guys were playing each other for the chance to go to the Super Bowl. Who better than me? My 2 favorite quarterbacks in football playing each other. I had a great time.
I would have gotten Eagles, Ravens. I'd have been in the same boat, because there's no losing for me.
Don't worry, there's losing for you this time, because Josh Allen is going home again.
There's really no losing for me in that Ravens-Texans game. I have a quarterback in the AFC Championship.
There's losing for me because I want the Ravens.
Well, I picked the Ravens, so I want the Ravens to win.
Yes,
But if CJ Stroud gets to the AFC Championship game, just give me the speaky. Just give it to me.
but then
But then what?
you don't get a
CJ
speaky.
Stroud?
You don't get a
Who?
speaky because
I
a
did.
team you didn't pick to go to the Super Bowl goes to the AFC Championship
I
game.
said that quarterback was the one. I said he was the one. Out of anybody, I said definitively he is the one. Before he played a snap in the NFL, I said that's the
His
one.
career's not over.
Who looks right now?
Mark Sanchez went to back-to-back AFC Championship games.
We are living in the moment. We are living in the moment, and in the moment,
he will only be doing.
CJ is the one.
He will only be doing something that Mark Sanchez did before him.
Neo.
He will only be doing what Mark Sanchez has done before him.
Problem is, he's running into that guy.
He's running into a bad man.
Guy.
To an MVP.
That guy who should and better win the MVP, although, like I said, I wouldn't be mad if Dak won.
Rain Dakota Prescott. Hold on. So before we go on what you're saying, what were you saying about my Dak Prescott take?
Well, I thought you was being a little hypocritical because Anthony did make a good point about the roller coaster statement you made with Jameis.
But I don't think Dak is a roller coaster.
But Dak also throws picks in the playoffs. Like, it's the same thing. Sure, you'd have a
playoffs,
smooth,
absolutely. I will give you that in the playoffs.
Smooth regular season, but once them playoffs come, it's the same thing.
I will give you the playoffs, but
I thought that was a valid point.
I will give you the playoffs, but that's not Dak Prescott as a whole. Dak Prescott as a whole is not a roller coaster. Jameis Winston, as we know him, is a roller coaster.
In the playoffs.
We've never seen him because he can never get there.
But I've seen him in a do or die game, and I saw him win a national championship. And I saw him win the national.
Different. He played an Auburn team who couldn't throw. What are we doing?
Did he not have a great fourth quarter drive to win the game?
He did. Has he done it in the NFL?
He hasn't had the opportunity yet.
Because he throws them out of games. He's the reason they don't have those opportunities.
Some would say Trevor Lawrence is the same thing.
Has more playoff wins than Jameis Winston.
He does. But I just continue with the fact that in do or die games, Trevor Lawrence has been horrible in
except for the playoffs.
In all of his last 6 or 7 do or die games, he's been horrible.
Except from the playoffs.
What do you mean? He was terrible against the Chargers.
Who won?
He was terrible.
Who won?
How did he play?
Who won?
It's not a win or loss stat. Remember?
Who won? I'm using your argument against you. Who won?
I'm using your argument against you. He was terrible.
And did he win?
He did. Yes, he did.
There we go. That's all that matters, right? No matter how you win, whether it's inch or a mile, a win's a win.
Did he beat Patrick Mahomes?
No, but he played a damn good game.
No, there's no.
He played a very good game
because he played a bad game and lost. So you can't tell me
he did not play a bad game though.
He played a bad game.
No, they were very much so in that game, and he didn't.
The Charger game, he played a bad game against
and won.
He played a bad game against the Chiefs.
No, he didn't play a bad game against the Chiefs.
Played a bad.
He did not play against bad. I won't give you that one. I'm not conceding that one. He did not play a bad game against the Chiefs.
Played a bad game against the Chiefs.
No, he did not. I watched that game. He played rather well. They had a chance to win that game.
They were never going to win that game.
They had a chance to win that game.
They were never going to win that game.
This all comes from a place of hate. This comes from a place of hate.
They were never going to win that game.
And Dak has played good playoff games. He doesn't always just throw them out. Dak played a great playoff game last year. Dak played a good playoff game the year before. And the year before. It's just they don't win. They just don't win.
He doesn't play good, though, when they lose.
No. I'm not going to say he doesn't play good because there have been games they've lost where he did play good. Like that Niners game last year, he played a good game. They just lost. That was what the problem there. They just lost. You could lose and not play a bad game.
And that didn't happen last year.
It's because all everybody remembers is that Zeke play. That's all everybody remembers is Zeke being the only down lineman and then getting bowled over by 3 Niners while all the offensive linemen are spread out wide. Like that's Dak Prescott's fault. So I'm saying the history doesn't remember.
He was 24 of 39 for 217, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
That's not bad. Is that bad? One and one is bad?
2 completions for 195.
Who?
Excuse me, for 24 completions for 217.
Yardage could have been better. That just seems like it's more play design than anything. If you have 24 completions.
Punt, touchdown, punt, field goal, punt, touchdown, fumble, interception, field goal, game.
So, that sounds like play design. That sounds like play design. If you're throwing the ball 20 times and you have 200 passing yards,
that's 10 yards.
Or you completed it 20 times.
You threw it
That's
40.
Bad.
You threw it 40.
That sounds like it's bad play design. So it sounds like.
Your boy's overrated.
He's not overrated. I think he's right where he needs to be. They need to upgrade that defense a little bit more, though. Because they could use some help there. Does it help him that CJ Stroud came in and, is awesome? No. Is he still the second best quarterback in that division? Yep. He's better than Will Levis, Mike.
I mean...
And he's better than Anthony Richardson.
CJ might be the best quarterback in that division.
No, I said that. I said Trevor's the second.
Oh, Trevor's the second.
Trevor's the second, yeah.
Today.
And tomorrow and yesterday.
Today. Will's only played 7 games, so I'm not going to disrespect.
All right, still better.
I'm not going to disrespect Trevor Lawrence like that, but his time's coming. And Anthony Richardson played 5 games before he broke his collarbone.
Listen, Anthony Richardson, if he doesn't figure out how to just protect himself, he can't even be listed.
Me and you deserve a
I just gonna be Gardner Minshew. It's just gonna be Gardner Minshew.
Me and you deserve a speaky for that because we both literally watched the first game and was like, yeah, homeboy gonna have to learn how to slide. Second game, yeah, homeboy gonna have to learn how to slide. Third game, playing with fire. Fourth game, out for the season.
Because he got hurt in those back-to-back games.
Like, bro, you gotta be. What are you doing? Like, this ain't. You ain't playing against the Big West Conference no more. Like, these is grown men out here.
Whatever the SEC has turned into. Everybody in the SEC is just Kentucky outside of Texas and Oklahoma now.
Hey,
that's how I feel.
So, Trevor for now has that mantle, but his time is coming. He will be 4th. His time is coming.
You think he's gonna be 4th? You're just a hater. You are just a hater. That's rude.
Maybe 3rd. I'm not as high on Richardson as you are, but
I don't think Richardson's that good.
So 3rd.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Richardson's that good. I think Richardson has a fucking unbelievable arm, but he's gonna get people killed. He's gonna get people killed, and then he's gonna get himself killed. He needs to hurry up and just watch Cam Newton because what happened to him is 7 years after Cam Newton was really good.
Terrible.
Because that ceiling is Cam Newton, and he's not going to get a chance to reach MVP Cam Newton levels if he keeps playing the way he's playing.
I think he has MVP Cam Newton talent, so.
I do. When you have an arm like that, you do. Because remember, Cam wasn't that good of a passer either. Cam didn't have the accuracy. Cam had the fucking arm strength, though. And he was running over Cam Chancellor. But
all right, so to confirm, money line, are you taking all the road teams or
no, I'm taking all the road teams for the spread.
spread?
What do you think? You take me for a fool? You take me for a fool?
I have San Francisco, Detroit, Baltimore. I have all the home teams. No upset. No
give me
upset.
San Francisco. Give me Baltimore. Give me Tampa. And give me the Chiefs. NFC, I'm going. It's for the 1 seeds. I'm picking the 1 seeds. And for the other games, just give me the other team.
You believe in the 1 seeds?
I believe in the 1 seeds. They're the 1 seeds for a reason.
So you're picking the 1s and the 4s.
Yeah.
Because you actually got. I actually believe in. Well, no, because Green Bay won Bible State. We actually got chalk, but Green Bay. So yeah. So you have
the 1s and give me the 4s.
Or a 7 in Green Bay's case, but yes.
Because
okay,
I trust the greatest quarterback of all time.
John Elway's not playing.
Huh?
John Elway's not playing.
Huh?
John Elway's not walking through that door.
John Elway.
I think it's John Elway.
He better than Peyton Manning?
Yes, I do. Because he's a little bit more mobile than Peyton.
Don't matter when Peyton's yelling Omaha. Don't matter when Peyton's yelling Omaha and he just got the ball out of his hands in 2 seconds. Who needs to fucking be mobile? Oh, I respect your opinion. It's wrong, but I respect your opinion. As long as it's not Tom Brady. As long as it's not Tom Brady, that fucking game manager.
James will have a heart attack, but it's not Tom Brady.
Fuck Tom Brady. Fuck Bill Belichick, too. James, I hit a nerve when I was just doing nothing but talking shit about Bill Belichick.
It hit a nerve.
You brought the
Patriot fan out of James really quickly. Don't you talk about Bill like that.
He's like, you're bitter. I'm like, and? Who's denying any of this? He's a piece of shit. Couldn't happen to a worse person. I hope where he goes next, he fails.
We're going to be sick when he goes to fucking San Diego. Well, Atlanta and gets Russell Wilson and wins a fucking championship. We're going to be sick.
I swear to God, Mike. If you ever utter those words ever again in your life, we're going to have a problem.
We're going to be sick.
We're going to have a real problem.
I told DJ that Russell Wilson's going to Atlanta, and he refuses to believe it. He said that Russell Wilson is banned in Atlanta because of Future.
You know, DJ has a very good point. A very good point. You may need to retract that word.
I said Russell Wilson going to Atlanta is the ultimate troll job, and I would respect Russell so much for it. I took your girl in your city.
The amount of Future they'd be playing at the stadium would be a lot to just drive Russell crazy.
Or Russ could tell them not to play Future because he's the quarterback and it's his team now. Put on that Kurt Franklin. Put that Kurt Franklin on through the stadium.
I think I actually hate this. I think everything you said, I hate. I don't like a single word of it. Take it back. Take it all back.
If that happened, boy. Because you can't they're not more of a Bill Belichick type of quarterback than old Russ.
I thought he may be the Patriots quarterback.
I think Russ and Bill fit perfectly. So
I think Russ and Gerard Mayo.
I don't know what Rod Mayo's going to be as a coach, so I don't know.
All I know is he doesn't see color.
Now we're going to move on because that's going to open a can of worms. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I heard that. I saw that clip. And let me tell you that.
We found out what type of person Rod Mayo was real quick.
Real quick.
That's why Robert Kraft was so quick.
He knew he had one. Like I said, checks all the boxes. Are we done with football? Anything else happen in football? I know Harbaugh interviewed a couple jobs. Belichick interviewed a couple jobs.
I feel bad for whatever team picks signs Jim Harbaugh because they're drafting J.J. McCarthy in their first round pick, and that's the stupidest thing they could ever do. J.J. McCarthy will be a quarterback on a Harbaugh team. I'm fucking calling it. I saw a mock draft the other day that had J.J. McCarthy in the first round, and I almost threw up. I saw
end of the first round.
I saw J.J. McCarthy go off the board before Bo Nix and Michael Penix.
That GM should be fired. So J.J. McCarthy's going to be Anthony's quarterback?
It was taken after Anthony's pick because the Raiders didn't pick a quarterback. Actually, fun fact, the Raiders didn't pick a quarterback in any of the first-round mock drafts I've seen. Because that's the right thing to do, not pick a quarterback.
No, it is not. Did you see AOC? He's horrible, Dylan. He's horrible.
Get one in the second round. Don't do it in the first round with that pick. I'm telling you, Michael Penix at that in Oakland, in Vegas, is not good.
You just don't
not. I don't think that's a good fit for him. He needs to go somewhere that can protect him. They can't. And he also only stares down the right side of the field. Do the work, Mike. I want you to watch the Michael Penix highlight tape, and I want you to tell me the common denominator here.
Let's see. Yes, I think that's it for foosball.
I think so. I think we're done with football for now.
So there was a trade today.
Before we do this.
Yes.
I think we'd be wrong to not acknowledge. I don't want to fuck up this guy's name, but Dejan Milojevic passed away today. One of the assistant coaches of the Spurs from
Warriors.
The Warriors. I'm sorry, Warriors from a health issue that came from a team dinner. So thoughts and prayers to the family. Thoughts and prayers to the Warriors organization, all the players, and that this man ended up touching and affecting the lives of. This is a very rough time, so please, thoughts and prayers out.
He was loved in the international basketball community. They are hurting right now. This man he's touched a lot of people.
Yeah, and for the NBA, for the organizations, for players, past, present, coaches, assistant coaches, everybody who's ever been around has nothing but raving things to say. So a big loss in the basketball world and the basketball family. So now that the brooding tone is over, let's get to some more fun type of basketball news. Spicy P is an Indiana Pacer.
I recall it.
That's his nickname. Is that not his nickname, Michael?
That's a terrible nickname that he gave himself.
Now he's a Spicy Pacer.
You're making it worse.
You see what I did there?
You're making it worse.
I'm telling you right
Bruce
now.
Brown getting traded because he stinks.
No, Bruce Brown got traded because he makes a lot of money. he got paid, and in order to upgrade your team, you got to trade a guy who got paid. Guy's making $23 million a year. You got to send him somewhere. Huh? Say it again. I didn't hear you. Again, you didn't. The audio didn't pick up.
X spend the ball.
He's gonna fuck around and end up on the Nuggets again. You're gonna be real mad. You're gonna be real mad. Because you know that's exactly what's gonna fucking happen. He's gonna fuck because the Raptors aren't gonna keep him.
Probably not.
The Raptors may trade him or buy him out.
He's brought out that crazy.
If he gets bought out, that's insane. Because then he can go wherever he wants.
Get his money.
He still get paid and then just go back to Denver. I'm telling you, he's a Nugget again. And you will never hear the end of me talk about Bruce Brown when he hits Denver again. Because he was a vital piece in that championship run.
I don't believe it.
You're an asshole. All right, so let's talk winners and losers of this trade. The winners are obviously the Pacers, right? They end up getting Spicy P. They end up getting another star next to MVP candidate Tyrese Halliburton, if we're being for real here, who is off on injury right now. But I've been seeing the gif of Kevin Nash in the wheelchair. Where he takes the blanket off and just stands up. They're saying he'll be running. I think this is one of those moves that makes the Pacers, like the Pacers were already a scary team to face. This makes them very, very scary. And I know what everybody's thinking when I said winners and losers. The loser of this trade isn't the Toronto Raptors. It's the Milwaukee Bucks. The losers of this trade is the Milwaukee Bucks. Because this Pacers team, I'm not saying Pascal is going to stop Giannis. Because in an NBA where nobody's really a defensive stopper because you're considered a defensive stopper when somebody scores 30 on you. That's just bound to happen. But the Pacers are the one team that can match up with Milwaukee up and down. Up and down. Because Miles Turner, you got to have Brook Lopez out there to guard him because he can shoot. You're going to play drop coverage? You got to play Giannis out there because Pascal can shoot.
It's consistent enough that you got to respect it.
You have to guard him. You can't just drop coverage these guys. And that opens up the backdoor cuts for Tyrese Halliburton to just throw lobs to fucking Obi Toppin.
This is exactly what Obi wants.
Which Obi's just like, please, please give me this. I love this for the Pacers. I'm not a big Pascal Siakam fan, which we both explained. We don't really care for Pascal Siakam at the barbershop. But I love this for them. I think this puts them right up there with those contenders in the Eastern Conference. The Pacers were already a hard out. Now it's like, okay, they got
What are those contenders? Still?
The Sixers, the Bucks.
That's it? Just the Sixers and the Bucks? Those are the only two good teams?
I think are actual contenders.
Celtics don't exist?
Oh, the Celtics. I'm sorry, the Celtics. I completely forgot about the Celtics. They might as well not fucking exist. They might as fucking well.
Celtics don't exist?
The Celtics and I think the Pacers be the 4. This is a team the Knicks don't want to face in the playoffs. This is absolutely a team the Knicks don't want to face in the playoffs because I can see Julius Randle getting frustrated as shit right now. Because that's tough.
They don't play any defense.
Who?
The Pacers.
They will. Because who will be guarding Julius Randle?
Probably Siakam.
The guy who plays defense.
So who's guarding Jalen Brunson?
Halliburton. Those guys are going to cancel each other out.
And who's guarding OG? And who's guarding Dante? And who's guarding Grimes? And who's guarding Deuce?
They all you're telling me role players who may or may not show up, and then OG. But again, OG, from what we've seen, hasn't been scoring much.
He has been scoring.
Last time I didn't check the box score from today. Last game I checked his, he had like 10 points. And he had 15 today.
His points are big baskets, though. They're momentum swinging points, though. Like the impact on his points are bigger than what it seems. Like he always seems to make the big basket, and I'm loving that.
And then when the Knicks, when teams play in the playoffs, your rotation gets a lot shorter. So I don't know how many of those role players can actually play.
Jay Hart's playing. Dante's playing. Park's playing. Grimes may play because of defense.
Grimes may not play because
he may play because, but his defense.
Grimes may also get traded.
He may get traded. He might not be on the team. Deuce is McBride is the one that he's gonna have to find. He's gonna have to his minutes might get cut, and then Jericho Sims and Park and Mitch might come back.
And Miles Turner exists, and he just supposedly leads the NBA in blocks all the time.
That's hard.
All the time. Just blocks and just shooting threes.
I trust Harkin C with that. I'm not worried about that. Not worried about Miles Turner.
I know you don't want this pay. I know you don't want we don't want to admit things when like things are really in the face sometimes, but I think this Pacers team is a nightmare matchup for almost everybody except for Boston. I think Boston beats the shit out of this team. I think Boston's really the only team that beats the shit out of fucking everybody in a 7-game series. But hey, who knows? We'll see. But I like this Pacers team.
A few months. Bet you my Pacers win 45 looks awfully good right now, though, don't it?
It does look very good.
Will I get credit? No.
No, you'll get credit, but you're also begging for a speaky. So makes you want to give you less credit.
The Academy is biased against me.
That's not true.
I am the Nas of this group. Just ridiculous. Nas has no Grammys except the honorary Grammy, which means nothing. I am the Nas of this.
Yes. I gave you credit, though.
Greatness. No recognition.
I gave you recognition, though. You're over here crying that you didn't get recognition when I gave you recognition.
Cool. It doesn't exist.
Cool. I gave you my ballot. You were on my ballot.
I was not number one, so it doesn't exist.
Everybody look at me. I want your attention.
And when the Ravens win the Super Bowl, we're all gonna pick James. Well, James picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Unbelievable.
No, I picked the Ravens to win the Super Bowl. So
but James will still win. James will still win.
James will not win for that because I better win for that.
Me?
Huh?
Or me?
Why? You didn't pick the Ravens to win the Super Bowl?
Yes, I did.
You did? Then we all win. Participation trophies. That's what Michael wants. Everybody gets a trophy.
You want to talk about Embiid? He didn't cook Joker, but he won. He did this last year. Every time they play. He dominates that matchup for the most part. He didn't dominate this game, though. He won. He had better numbers, but he didn't dominate because Joker played very well.
Joker's always going to play well, though. Joker was 25, 19. Shit. But didn't have the assist numbers. Nah, Embiid dominated this. Hold on. No. Embiid had 41, 7, 10.
Embiid had a great game.
Embiid had 41, 7, and 10. Jokic had 25, 19, and 3.
19 just don't exist. He had 11
19 is good, but he had
11
41.
offensive. He had 11 offensive
He
rebounds.
had 41.
I understand that. I said he outplayed Joker, but he didn't dominate him. He did not.
I mean, that's if you drop 40 on somebody, that's dominating. Is it not? Because who was guarding Embiid? Fucking Michael Porter Jr.?
Oh, they were switching a lot.
Then he dominated the whole fucking team.
He did. He looked like the best player in the league.
That's crazy. Embiid has set himself up for what was it, like his third straight scoring title and like another MVP?
Well, I don't know. He can only miss 8 more games, so I really don't know.
Well, the scoring title he can lock in. The MVP is a tough
8
one.
games. He can only miss 8 games between
Which
now
sucks
and the
because
end of the
he
year.
deserves to win it. Like he's on that list of players who deserve to like win this award at the end. Like I like that the NBA put the limit on this, but I also hate it at the same time because there's clearly guys who you can make the exception for.
What's gonna happen is Shea's gonna win it because Shea's gonna play enough games. Or Luka. Luka's doing Luka things. But me, honestly, it's gonna be one of them two because they're gonna play enough games.
Yeah, because Tyrese is probably already out.
I don't want to put unlike James. I don't want to wish injury on people, but
Unlike
James. I don't. He cursed Chris Paul.
He also cursed Aaron Rodgers.
And so I'm not doing that. I don't know if Embiid can only miss 8 more.
But again, the Embiid stuff is almost an inevitability. It happens. It's something I've been saying for 3 basketball seasons now? Where it's like I don't want Embiid to get hurt, but it's inevitable. Like it's gonna happen.
Not being able, I don't know. I don't think he's gonna.
I don't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen. I like Embiid. I really like Embiid. But it happens every year. Right?
Not every year. He's played, like we went through this. He plays games, Dylan.
But he gets hurt every year.
Everyone gets hurt every year.
I don't know.
Plays 82 every year. No one does that. Role players do that. Star players don't play 82, except Russell Westbrook.
Star players now have to play like 65.
And that's right around where he will be. He's going to be right around
games. He won't.
He's going to be right around 6. Well, I don't know if he's going to win MVP because I think he's going to play like 60. And then people are really going to be crying and complaining because
play more games. Don't get hurt.
Take care of your body. He can't control that, and you know that.
I shouldn't have played basketball that day. Shit happens.
You can't control somebody falling on you or rolling your ankle on somebody's foot. Like you can't control that.
Drink more milk. Get your bone strength up. You're not entertained by my trolling.
I'm not.
We're not entertained by my trolling, and it upsets me.
We already low key previewed UFC 297 a week early.
Yeah, so, I was rather upset with you on Saturday.
I was upset as well because I thought that's what's going on, but it's fine. This weekend is fine.
Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed.
That girl, I'm more locked in that that girl is going to beat Raquel too. By the way, because I forgot. I don't know how I forgot, but she choked out Holly Holm with that standing guillotine. I forgot that. Once I saw the replay of that, I was like, oh, yes, this is why I remember this girl. She's going to beat Raquel. I think that's the only fight we have different too.
It is. But like Holly Holm has the takedown and submission defense of an armless woman. So like I don't know what we're doing here. I don't know. I'm not gonna. I need to watch the embeddeds. I need to watch. I couldn't watch them last week because they weren't out because it wasn't fight week, Michael. But now I can watch them and take a look for myself to see.
Let me know in the chat. You're down 2 Gatorades. Where
listen,
I'm on pace.
I have been a really good actual gambler. I've been a really good wheel spin. I'm cold right now. But I've been, as an actual gambler, I've been hot recently. Wheel spins so far, 2024, I'm 2-1. I'm looking good. I can't win these Gatorade bets to save my fucking life.
I'm just gonna come on the show one day when I decide to cash in. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna have the camera, and I'm just gonna have a stack of Gatorade. I'm just gonna drink Gatorade all through the show.
I'm sitting there like these Gatorade bets got me in a chokehold. They got me in an absolute chokehold. I can't win them. If that over/under bet from Detroit's game was a wheel spin bet, Dan Campbell would have went for it 10 times. He would have went for it 10 times. They would have found a way to get to 4th down just so they could. That's the problem with that game. They didn't get to 4th down.
They did not.
But now it's that game. The Rams defense would have figured it out. They would have gotten a bunch of 4th downs, and Dan Campbell would have went for it every single fucking time if I would have bet a wheel spin on it. But that Gatorade, Dan Campbell was like, no.
I should have bet a pack on it. That's what I should have.
You should have, but you didn't want to. You didn't want to. You didn't want to. You were reluctant. But now it's just like, I could bet fucking Joel Embiid's averaging 35 points a game. I could bet you right now a Gatorade that he'll score 20 points tomorrow, and he at least 20 points tomorrow, and he'll score 14. And I'd lose that. That's how I feel right now with these Gatorade bets. I can't win. I can't buy a win. It could be buy one, get one free, and I can't get the free one. I'm on the struggle bus. I bought all these tickets, and this bus is just me by myself.
Delivering me Gatorade.
I'm in a bad spot.
I don't have any bets for you this week.
I'm in a very bad spot where I have to dig myself out of this Gatorade hole.
Well, I mean, you should be, because I mean, UFC 300 looks like it's going to be a card.
Banger.
So we should have some. We should have, and
Quadruple or nothing.
299 also is a card. So you'll have your chances. You have a chance. We got NBA All-Star Weekend coming up. You'll have your chances. You gonna bet on Wemby? Right. You gonna bet on Wemby to win the skills challenge?
No,
because he's in it. He's already declared.
Can we talk about Wemby is balling right now? They're not winning, but they're balling.
Ever since who called him out? Somebody. Oh no! Ever since he didn't win Rookie of the Month, he's been on a tear.
He's on a tear, and that's.
But Chet is also. This is the problem. Chet has also been on a tear, but. Shea gets all the coverage. Shea gets all the press. Like it's I understand Shea is it could win MVP and all, but Chet is having an unbelievable season.
So Wemby's averaging just under 20, so 19.8. Are you gonna give me 20?
19.8, I'll give you 20.
20, 10, 3 assists, and 3 blocks.
Very good.
Chet is 17, 7, 2.8, so 3, and 2.5, and so I'll give that 3 blocks.
So he's a 3-pointer behind and a couple rebounds.
3-pointer behind and a couple rebounds.
But his team has what? 25 more wins?
Well, it's also because they have like the guy right
25 more wins.
Is it because of him?
He's a part of the reason.
But is he the guy?
Is he not a reason though?
He is a guy. Is he? Let's put it in Chuck perspective. Is he a bus driver or is he a bus rider?
He's riding that bus.
He's riding. Who's driving that bus?
Shay's driving that
exactly. So if you have an MVP on your team, you can't be in this.
But I don't think they'd have the record that they have if he wasn't on the team, though. They'd be good. They wouldn't be as good.
You could do that. You could say they would.
They'd have the second best record in the NBA if Chet wasn't on the team.
You could say so. I'd say so. Because then you just give more shots to Jalen Williams. And he a dog. A dog. Is he not a dog?
He is.
He's a dog. Dog. What else do we got?
What else happened in the NBA? I mean, Draymond's back. Didn't mean anything because they lost to the Grizzlies.
Draymond is super gray right now.
That man's
stressed.
That man's stressed.
Stressed.
That man had to be home with the wife and kids. Had to go to therapy.
He's like, I hate it here. I hate it here.
Stressed. But yeah, no. That is all I've got. I don't have anything else. Like I said, soy fight night this weekend for real this time.
Maybe they'll just postpone it just because. Mike, all I'm gonna say is ever since I went on that rant about Spencer Dinwiddie, he's just been getting benched. His time is not long.
Trade in the next 3 weeks?
I think he'll be traded in the next 2. His time is not long. It's time for him to go. And I can't fucking wait. I'll bring him there. I'll bring him to the airport. Personally.
So let me ask you, if me, because I'm trying to get my guy to death row. If I was to offer you Fournier, Deuce, and 2 first-rounders.
For Dinwiddie, take him.
Dinwiddie.
I'll give you Dinwiddie for a bag of Doritos.
Like I said, if you want to do this Dinwiddie for Fournier swap, we can talk.
I'm open.
You can have him.
You can have Spence.
You can have Fournier tomorrow. I will send him on the 4 train. I'll send him right to you. Yeah, and 2 first for Bridges.
No.
3 first.
No.
3 first? You wouldn't take that?
No.
But you don't think he's the best player on the team?
It's the value. It's the value of the contract. It's the value of the contract to get him on under $100 million contract to get 20-something points and an All-NBA defender on an under $100 million contract? No.
They have to give you.
It's tough because since we don't have our draft picks, we can't just burn everything to the ground.
And we have plenty of them.
Yeah, but they're not really your draft picks.
No, they are our draft picks. They're good draft picks. We have draft pick. We have Indiana's draft pick.
That's not a good draft pick at all.
Not anymore. I think it's a West Coast team. I don't know which team it is from the West. Indiana's draft pick. I think I have to look. I'll figure it out. But still,
the only way you could get rid of Bridges is if you were to recoup all your assets from Houston. That's the only way you could do that trade. Is if you go full tank and you're like, you know what, we're going to burn it to the ground. Mikhail, we're sending you to Houston for 4 of our draft picks.
The Knicks have 3. They own their own 3 first-round picks in 29, 30, and 31, and a second-round pick that they acquired.
Keep second round picks the fuck away from me. Those are useless. A second round pick in the year 20 fucking 30.
The Knicks have Washington's pick. It's top 12 protected, but the Knicks have Washington's pick as well.
That pick sucks then. If it's top 12 protected, that pick sucks. Because that's a guaranteed top 10 pick. That's like a guaranteed top 10 pick. I don't want none of that. Like, I can't get Bridges off this team if I can't get my own draft picks back. Because if you're getting Bridges off the team, you're bringing it down to the fucking pillars into the ground. That's what you'd be doing, because it's like, all right, just get rid of everybody. You can't do that when you don't have your picks. Our valuable picks are these Phoenix picks in like 3 years. That's why it's like you can't afford to get rid of Bridges. If you're going to go get somebody and try to build that way, you have some valuable picks in the future, because Phoenix is not going to be very good in 3 years.
2024, the Knicks have their own pick. They have Dallas's pick, top 10 protected. They have Detroit's pick, top lottery protected. And Washington's pick, top 12 protected, and Utah or Cleveland's pick, first second round pick, and Miami's second round pick.
Second round picks don't even offer them to me, and then lottery picks from awful teams that are lottery protected is just bad.
And the Knicks have Milwaukee's 2025 pick, and it's top 3 protected.
That Milwaukee pick's going to be in the 20s. That's why it's like,
I don't know.
I do know, because you have Dame for the next 4 years. Giannis is going to re-signed, or is going to re-sign. No, he did re-sign. Giannis is there for the rest of forever. I'm not saying those aren't valuable picks, but to me, somebody who is going to be trying to trade away incredible value and then start fresh, those picks are bad picks. Those picks aren't valuable to me. A Washington pick that's top 12 protected.
I just don't understand how, because you don't have any.
No, we have draft picks. We don't have our draft picks. We have Philadelphia's draft picks. We have Phoenix's draft picks. We have a bunch of draft picks. We're gone. Well, so we have Philadelphia's draft picks. We have Phoenix's draft picks. We have draft picks. We don't have our draft picks. So it's, what's the point of doing a tank if we can't actually tank? This was my point to Roz last summer when he was like, oh, the Nets should just tank. I'm like, you can't. If you tank, you're just helping Houston. So why tank? You should make those picks the worst you could possibly make them. For every year you don't have your draft pick, basketball purgatory. That's how that works.
You have no picks in 2024. You have Phoenix's 2025 pick. You have Miami's second round 2025 pick, which you'd say doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist.
You have no picks in 2026 in the first round. You have Phoenix's 2027 first rounder and Philly's 2027.
How don't we have in back-to-back years? We don't have first rounders. Those are probably.
You tell me. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
Those are pick swaps then, because you can't trade those picks.
You can trade every other year.
Yeah, and then the other ones are pick swaps. And if I don't have 25 or 26,
oh, you don't have. You have Phoenix's 2025 first round pick, and you have Phoenix's 2027 first round pick.
Yeah, those Phoenix picks you can't give away. Those Phoenix picks are fucking gold. Those Phoenix picks are gold.
And you have Philly's 2027 first round pick, but it's top 8 protected.
Which is also that's also stupid.
So again,
but 2027, I don't think they're going to be bad, so I don't even have to worry about that.
So again, the Knicks do have picks that can be valuable to you because we have a lot of even year picks that you don't have.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Because we're not gonna build through the draft. New York doesn't build through the draft. That was did you read that article? Did you read that article recently? No, New York doesn't build through the draft either. Who on your team has built through the draft? You got rid of everybody.
I said New York. Brooklyn does.
Well, Brooklyn builds through the draft to then get rid of them. we use them to trade them and get stars. That's how it goes. I read an article. They were like, "Oh, executives believe, as well as like the Knicks and Nets believe, you can't rebuild in New York. It's incredibly difficult to do because you just kind of have to just buy."
Fans like
the fans don't give it a time. Don't give it the time.
In our chat, that just don't want to trust the process.
Can't let the players develop. You don't have the time and luxury of the other teams. You can't blow it up to the ground. If you blow everything up to the ground, you like that is I forgot what the exact quote was, but I think it was something along the lines of like salary cap suicide if you were to blow it up to the ground, because then nobody would show up to your games.
Prices is crazy.
Yeah, so it's like, how can New York teams afford to rebuild? They can't. Everything has to be like a recycle and just retool. And since the Nets don't have their own draft picks, everything's just got to be like, well, we're going to collect these role players that other teams could really use. We're going to collect draft picks from these other teams that will be bad in the back half of the 20s. And then we'll use that to then create the value, trade the role players, find a star who wants to go, or a guy like DeJounte Murray where the Hawks are just willing to trade for fucking anything, apparently. I'm surprised nobody just slammed me. Like, hey, gimme!
I think it's coming.
I think it's coming too, and I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, he's coming here. But when Windhorse goes out there and is like, hey, keep an eye on Brooklyn, Windhorse doesn't like just say shit. He's been right about a lot of things with the Nets. And the Nets were talking with the Hawks before the season started, which was very much so why I was very adamant that there was going to be a star traded to Brooklyn, because I knew those talks were going.
And it never happened. It
was Spencer Dinwiddie and like 2 firsts. And I was like, do that yesterday. Now, I'll probably have to give up 3 first-round picks to fucking get Dinwiddie the fuck out of here. It'll have to be Dinwiddie, Royce O'Neal, and 2 firsts. And I'm going to kill myself.
I would take Royce O'Neal on the Knicks also.
I mean, one of these role players is going to be gone. I think Royce and Dorian Finney-Smith are going to be fucking elsewhere. I also want Cam Johnson the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you seem to hate him now.
I hate him. I absolutely hate him. He bothers me to no end. No end. This is what happens when Dylan doesn't have a competitive Nets team. I just want everybody gone.
You hate everyone.
Everybody.
Except Cam Thomas.
I like Cam Thomas.
Yeah, except
he's fun. Because he's fun.
All-star, I guess.
And immediately, you guys were talking shit. Oh, he missed 20 straight shots. He then immediately went and scored like 28. Like, kid could score. And even still, he's efficient. Besides going 0 for 20 in the 2-game stretch, he's still an efficient scorer.
All he does is chuck.
Listen, when you have a team that's not playing well, you root for shit like that. You root for shit like that. You want your shot chucker to be that guy. I know Cam Thomas ain't going to pass the ball, so I root for the shots. Because Jacques Vaughn can't get anybody else shots.
Apparently not.
Watching him struggle to get Mikal Bridges shots is the worst shit of all time. The worst shit of all time. The only person who create their own shot successfully on this team is Cam Thomas. Fuck Spencer Dinwiddie. This is not the same Spencer I had fucking 4 years ago. That guy's dead.
It's the same, it's the
That
same
guy's
guy.
dead. It's not the same guy.
It's the same guy.
This guy's awful. Awful. I'm glad he's losing minutes to Dennis Smith Jr. Lonnie Walker also can't go anywhere.
I would also take Lonnie Walker minutes.
Lonnie Walker can also go nowhere. You can't have him.
I would definitely take Lonnie Walker.
You can't have him.
He doesn't play enough defense, but boy, he can get a bucket.
You can't have him. That's Lonnie Skywalker.
Actually, before we get to I'm Him, because we don't promote on this show, make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button. Hit that notification button for when we go live. Are you doing Sunday Night Barretto this weekend for Saturday and Sunday again?
I'll have to see about Saturday, but Sunday is a definite. Mike, the honorary Barretto boy.
Saturday will be tough. Sunday maybe. Sunday I might be around.
Mike, the third Barretto boy.
Sunday, I got to get myself out the doghouse.
He looks just like us. I'm him.
Yes. Make sure you follow us everywhere you get your podcasts: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Twitch, iHeartRadio, all of them. Wherever you get your podcast, we are here. YouTube for the video version. We are here. Yes, I'm him for this week.
Before I give my I'm him, I just want to show this.
Oh. Really? Freddie shooting bad like that?
Look at this face. This is the face of a man who just doesn't want to fucking be here. Who is all but over it. You could go elsewhere, Spencer. Fuck you. Anywho, now that that's out of the way, I'm him this week. Me. I'm him. Because after being 6 months post Achilles surgery and all the work that I put in, I ran for the first time over the weekend. And then I ran again. And I ran again. And I busted my ass to get to this point. So I'm him because I'm him. Because I did something that I didn't think I was going to be able to do. I looked adversity in the face in a very dark time, and I said, fuck you. And I got busy. So I said, go fuck yourself. I'm not doing that. So put me in that elite air of rare people who came back from an injury soon. James, you motherfucker. I'm coming for you. And it's going to be a problem. A real problem. As much as I wanted to do the Booker T thing as a whole right now, I didn't. I stopped myself. But boy, TikTok.
So I was all set to I'm him for C. Stroud because he's him and he had a great week. Then this guy named Baker Mayfield said, "Hold my beer." Because let me tell you, if those Tampa players had caught some of those passes, he easily could have had 400 yards and 4 touchdowns in that game.
That is very true.
Baker was on one. So
I
because
was
of that,
this close because I was going to bet Baker plus 350 passing yards after the first quarter, and I didn't. I bet 325. Cash in. Cash in.
fun.
Cash in.
So my I'm him is for Baker Mayfield because he did the damn thing. He did the damn thing. But Dylan, I forgot we do have business to take. Fantasy focus. And as we know, Anthony won. Good for him, Anthony won. But last place was a Mike Ortiz from Total Mortgage. I spoke with him. Shout out to Mike. He's the only one to pay his dues for the league. Shout out to Mike. He was not happy about it, but he has accepted his punishment and said we can spin the wheel for him on air today, and he will accept the punishment.
So before I do this, Mike, what are the odds that we get either Ice Bucket or Hot Gummy?
Very, very well, because that's what's been happening. You lost the bet this weekend, and of course, Hot Gummy for you. DJ lost the bet, Ice Bucket, which we should be getting this week, I believe. I think we're gonna get that this weekend.
All right. Let me let it get past Ice Bucket. Let me let it get past Hot Gummy Bear. You got the music ready? All right.
Going right to it. Okay.
So, does he have time to come on the show?
So I was gonna say, so we will do the egg challenge as the winner, but we may have to spin again because Mike he has a newborn at home.
Play the music.
And he may not be able to come on air. So see what the wheel gives us as the alternative.
Egg challenge.
And the wheel said, no, you're going to do this. Hey. Oh, no way. No way. Spin it again. Spin it again.
Oh. If it would have did it again, Mike.
We might have had to just. I also want to add something to the wheel, because I think this one should be up there. Winner's choice. We won't do that now, obviously, because we spent. But I think winner's choice should be up there because that's a fun. That's a penalty. Oh, he's already got the sushi. So.
Yeah, no, he's got sushi. I just wanted to see what it would land on because I swear to God, if it would have landed on fucking egg challenge again, I would have fucking lost it. The wheel really wanted Mike Ortiz to do the egg challenge.
It really did, and I'm going to let him know. I'm going to give him that option because that is what it landed on. But in case he cannot do that when we record, he also, by the way, is in hiding because his Cowboys lost. When I texted him about
not a great last couple weeks there for Total Mortgage Mike Ortiz.
No, when I texted him, when he finally texted me Monday, all he said was, "It's baseball season." So he will either do the sushi challenge, which I think me and him can do. I mean, obviously, Dylan, you can.
I gotta do one too.
We'll have to do a sushi challenge. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe
So we could kill two birds with one stone.
that. Yeah, we can set that up. So that is the last order of business tonight. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Dylan will be live at some point this weekend with the Barreto boys, Sunday Night Barreto, after the divisional round.
Then Barreto boys are at it again.
We have to start talking about the superb superb owl. Is the tradition continuing? Are we gonna stream it? We'll talk, Dylan. We'll talk.
I am always open to hosting the Superb Owl as long as the Jets aren't in it. That is the only stipulation in which I will not be hosting the Superb Owl, because if the Jets are in the Super Bowl, I need to watch the game in the dark with the heat on 90, wrapped in a blanket, with the oven on. Just doing some serious voodoo shit.
with armed forces or something on deck, maybe some bubble wrap around you because you will be throwing things. If good or bad, you'll be throwing things.
Just know, when the Jets ever win a Super Bowl, don't call me. Nobody call me.
Good or bad?
I will be in hysteria, crying. I will be ugly crying up and down my fucking street. Just going, hey, been rooting for this team since 1999. Talking about Chad Bennington, Chad Henne, Bryce Petty, Christian Hackenberg, Zach fucking Wilson.
It's hilarious, but if the Knicks ever in my lifetime,
don't care,
just give me one.
Okay.
Just give me one. Just one.
That's how I feel. If the Jets ever to win, I may find God. I may find God if he wins. Because that just means Joe Namath's the devil. Joe Namath's the devil because he sold his soul. Joe Namath sold his soul for Super Bowl III.
I don't think Clyde Frazier sold his for us. So
definitely didn't. And just like that, the Nets lose in net fashion again. I'm gonna fucking throw my head up against the wall and the show mic.
and Knicks win, by the way. Knicks win.
0.2 seconds left. Fucking floater. Are you fucking kidding me, man?
Y'all are just determined to make a liar out of me. I should have never picked y'all to make the
trade Dinwiddie. Trade him. It'll fix so many issues. Trade him. Go get me DeJounte Murray, Sean Marks. Stop fucking with me. Stop fucking with me, Sean Marks.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. From us to you, we bid you adieu. Good night.
When it rains, it pours.